Hi everybody and welcome to the DRF Bets Race of the Day segment for Sunday, April the 29th. It's race number 8 at Santa Anita, the Grade 3 San Simeon Stakes, and you can bet it with DRF Bets. Sign up for a new account, access a $150 bonus. All you have to do is go to drf.com/join and type in the promo code TV150. Let's take a look at this field of some pretty good downhill turf sprinters getting set to go for $100,000 on Sunday. Conquest Tsunami is your 8-5 morning line favorite for Peter Miller, who has several horses in this race. You've got a turnback in the number 5 Isotherm, a former Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint winner in the number 7 Mongolian Saturday, and a sharp filly sprinter in the number 3 Konaya. It really is an intriguing race, a field of 8 in the San Simeon. The speed of the race, however, might be the number 1 Conquest Tsunami. As we see from our Timeform US pace projector, Conquest Tsunami is expected to set the pace, as he has in his last 7 starts, most recently in Dubai in the Grade 1 Al-Quaz Sprint, where only beaten 2 lengths after a very good effort. Peter Miller is really testing Conquest Tsunami. He's not giving him a break after Dubai, wheeling him back in only 29 days, but his 2 prior races showed that this horse might be a downhill turf specialist. He had a nice easy lead when dangled in for the 62.5 tag first time for Miller, but I thought he really ran in the Grade 3 Daytona 2 starts back, putting away Stormy Liberal, a horse that came back to run second for Miller up in Dubai. Conquest Tsunami, if you don't believe all of this traveling over the last month and a half or so has gotten to him and will make him regress or bounce, he's probably the horse to catch and beat in the form he's in the San Simeon. The number 2 is Miss Julia Star, and this is a filly owned by the powerful Team Valor stables, getting Lasix for the first time. A multiple stakes winner in France, she has raced once in North America previously, and that was a tough spot, the Grade 1 Matriarch, where she showed big speed and tired badly at 38-1. It's her first start off the layoff, her first start with Lasix. She has run very well in France at shorter distances in the past, but I just want to see a race before I get too excited about the chances for the 2 Miss Julia Star. The number 3 is Konaya, another mare taking on the boys, and she looked really good winning the Grade 3 Las Ciénegas Stakes 3 starts back for trainer William Morey. Kent DeZormo very aggressive entering the turn, opening up a clear lead and then letting Konaya do the rest. Konaya then followed that effort up with a good bang-up second behind the streaking Selcourt on dirt in the Grade 3 Las Flores Stakes, but I have to admit, I was really disappointed with her most recent effort in the misdirection. Franco rode this horse pretty much like DeZormo did in the Las Ciénegas. Tried to open up the race and break it wide open on the turn, but Konaya looked very uncomfortable in the stretch. Unlike her, she did not change leads in the stretch. She got very, very tired, and I wonder if all those hard races, the Las Ciénegas, the Las Flores, right off the layoff, took its toll in the misdirection. She's a speed horse that's going to have to deal with a fast speed horse in Conquest Tsunami. If she gets the better of Conquest Tsunami, then she has to hold off the closers. I'm a little worried about Konaya off of that last race. The horse that beat Konaya in that race is the number 4 Belvoir Bay, going out for Peter Miller, and we have a positive formulator fact concerning Belvoir Bay. Over the past 3 years, with last out winning older turf sprinters making the second start off a layoff of 45 days or greater, Miller has great numbers, 45% and a big ROI of over $5. Belvoir Bay has won 7 of 18 lifetime starts, has done very well in turf sprints. But in the misdirection, didn't she just get the most perfect trip in the world? Konaya was out there on the lead. She drifted off the rail. Belvoir Bay just shot through along the inside without a straw in her path, and the wire came just in the nick of time. One more stride and Belvoir Bay gets beat. She's a very likable horse to be sure, but I'm not sure she's going to get that similar sort of situation here. Her best hope perhaps is that the 1 and the 3 soften each other up and she tries to sit another tracking trip. 4-1 to me seems a little bit light for Belvoir Bay. I respect her, but she had a perfect trip last time out. Really the key to the race is the number 5 Isotherm, a Keeneland graduate at 5-1, and I think 5-1 would represent a great amount of value. After he defeated It's in the Post in the 2017 San Marcos Stakes, I thought that Isotherm was going to become an important turf horse on the West Coast. But instead, trainer George Weaver decided to run him against the boys in the big cap, and it was a disaster. He had never really been a dirt horse leading up to that race. I guess they wanted to try distance with him, and the race preceded a gigantic layoff. Isotherm has run 3 times since that long layoff in the Santa Anita Derby, and I think some folks may say he hasn't hit the board in any of those 3 races. Maybe he'll never come back. I think forgiving handicappers can say he's run better in those 3 races than it looks on paper. First, the San Gabriel off the long layoff, where he came with a 4-wide bid on the far turn, and then understandably flattened out against It's in the Post, considering the long layoff. Then the San Marcos Stakes, a race in which he was just up and on a blistering pace, not really his running style, and he tired badly. And then last time out in an optional claiming race where he was extremely headstrong, where the pace was very, very slow, and he sort of made this big mid-race move before flattening out. I like him cutting back to 6.5 furlongs. I know that's a question in a lot of people's mind, but the pace should be solid enough with Conquest, Tsunami, and Konaya out there on the lead. Isotherm has the class and ability to win this race. 5 to 1's a good price. I think he's a must-use in any kind of multiple race wagers. I've always been a fan of the number 6 Double Touch, but I'm not sure if he's good enough to win a race like this. He looked good winning his non-winners of 1 other than back in June, and then he was thrown to a wolf named Sharp Samurai in both the La Jolla and Del Mar Derby. He came off a fairly long layoff last time out going down the hill, and he got a really nice race flow setup. A very fast pace in front, but Double Touch, once he altered course to the far outside and mid-stretch, came with an extremely strong run, and he earned a career best Beyer speed figure of 92. He's going to have to build off of that race because he has no early speed, and he needs a fast pace. But I think this is a promising horse that you can watch for the future, maybe not here. Mongolian Saturday won the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint in 2015. He's only run one race since then, and you have to wonder if he's getting just a little bit long in the tooth at the ripe old age of 8. The old Mongolian Saturday would have the speed to put a terror into Conquest Tsunami and to put some fear into Konaya, but I'm not sure he has that speed anymore. His last couple of races, Synthetic and Dirt, if you want to just throw those races out, fine. In the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, he was overmatched, fine. The Woodford, though, his 4th start back was a good effort, but it came over his favorite course at Keeneland. I'm just not sure at what form Mongolian Saturday is bringing into Sunday's race of the day. Anatolian Heat was a playable horse last time out, turning back to 6.5 furlongs. 2 starts back at a mile, he had an impossibly wide trip, made the lead turning into the stretch, and then was run down by a horse that was better suited for the mile than he was, that being Colonist. He then came back and got the right pace set up in the right field in a non-winners of 2 other than, and he rolled down there to win it over a horse, 2 horses that came back to win. The second horse, Eric the Trojan, coming back to win with a 91 Beyer speed figure. This is a big class quiz for the Peter Miller trainee. It's an intriguing race. As we put up my pick, I think Conquest Tsunami is a specialist. I think he will deter Konaya from the early lead. I think he will turn into the stretch with the lead. The question is, will he be able to hold off the late run of Isotherm? I think he can do it in the form he's in. I think you always have to be a little bit concerned about the Dubai bounce, but it looks like Miller has found out what Conquest Tsunami wants, and that's going down the hill at 6.5 furlongs. I'm going 1, 4, 3, and 5 in the Grade 3 San Simeon Stakes. And again, you can bet it from home with your new DRF Bets account. A $150 bonus is waiting at drf.com/join. Please use the promo code TV150. Approximate post time for Sunday's DRF.com Race of the Day. Free Formulator past performances available on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. 3 o'clock Pacific. Best of luck.